Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I
am the Ace.
I am the Duke.
And this is how we do it.
This is how we do things around here. So, this week we're going to recap this is episode 11, by the way. We had our 10th episode last week, but we didn't think to bring it up because, well, we were kind of recovering from injuries.
Yeah, we all know this. But
this week we'll be recapping Triple F TV for May 21st, 2015, as well as Flock-A-Mania for 2015. So this will be fun.
Flock-A-Mania. Flock-A-Mania.
One thing we do have to bring up is that we are having an interview on this show. This time we'll be interviewing Danny Powers, whose client is Jack the Hidden Horseman Anderson. So
yeah, but now on to the actual content that you'll enjoy.
Yes. Now we're going to recap Rusev versus The Undertaker. And this was a pretty good match. I mean, these two are very highly skilled performers. Very good wrestlers.
And it surprised me when The Undertaker tapped out.
Yes, that was extremely surprising. I didn't think I'd ever see that, ever. The Undertaker tapping out. I mean, it was insane. I never thought I'd see the day where that happened. You just don't see Undertaker as the type of guy that would tap out, but he did. Apparently, the accolade is too much for even the Undertaker.
Yeah, and he tapped out on the Go Home show to Flock-A-Mania.
Yeah,
so that was a pretty hard loss for him.
Yeah, it was.
But then we had another match, which consisted of Horatio beating Vulcan.
There's not much else to say about that. The match was really one-sided.
It was.
Horatio absolutely dominated Vulcan, and he sent a message out to the future. I'm guessing that match was to send a message to future saying, "You see this? This is you." That's pretty much what all these wrestlers do on the Go Home show. If they're not facing their opponent for the next pay-per-view,
they're
sending a message, and that is what Horatio was doing here. He was sending his message.
And then we had another match which I will let you introduce.
Okay. So, first of all, the first contestant of this match is Adam Rose. Adam Rose
sucks because he lost to Sting. He sucks anyway, but he still lost to Sting.
He lost to Sting
in another really one-sided, really short battle.
Yeah, Sting was obviously going to beat Adam Rose. I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah.
There's no contest there.
But we're just blazing through these.
We really should take more time, but we have 2 events to go through, so you'll have to please understand. Anyway,
and then the next match was a part of the Avengers, Captain America and Thor, taking on a part of Deadly Darkness and The Undertaker and Sting.
Now, this was a very surprising result because Captain America and Thor won this match.
Yeah. I didn't really see that coming. I thought Undertaker and Sting would have won that match
have far
because
more
they would have
experience in
dominated.
the ring, and that was surprising. Or maybe it's just Undertaker and Sting don't exactly work well together, and Captain America and Thor have been on the same team for like 5 movies now.
Well, that's true. That's very true.
But, anyway, I guess there's not much else to say about that match, but it was a good match. It was a very good match.
It's a very good match.
But, up next, we had probably the most surprising, victor of the night, in the matchup between Cody the Kid Brown and Dynamite Danny, the former Triple F Heavyweight Champion. And, well, what do you know? When I say it was a surprise victory, it was
a surprise victory.
Cody the Kid Brown beat Dynamite Danny, the former Triple F Heavyweight Champion.
And then cut a promo.
Of course he did.
To send a message to TVP. And we'll tell you about that match a little bit later.
Oh yeah, that's Flock-A-Mania stuff.
Yeah, that's Flock-A-Mania stuff.
We're not going to get into that yet. But, anyway, up next we have...
But then, Cody the Kid Brown had to turn right around and jump back into the ring against the Avengers. Because him and his partner, Horatio had to fight the Avengers, which was,
Glatt and
Punk, for the #1 contender spot. And a chance at the Triple F Tag Team Championships at Flock-A-Mania, which is another match we'll get to in a minute. But what do you know? Deadly Darkness
Deadly Darkness
jumped
pulled
into
through.
the lead and took the victory.
They took this victory straight from Avengers. They said, no, we're number one contenders. We're going to go on and fight 1.21 Boogie Watts. We want our rematch.
And they got it. But speaking of rematches, that's a good segue, leading up to the next rematch of Scar Tissue and Deadly Darkness, because
the first time this
lifetime
match
glitches.
the first time this happened, the Undertaker left the match for some reason.
And he wasn't able to do anything. I mean, Horatio. Sorry. Breaking the fourth wall!
Why are you pointing to me? I have nothing to do with Horatio.
Breaking the fourth wall.
What are you talking about? What fourth wall? There's no fourth wall.
Are you sure?
Except that wall over there.
Actually, technically, any of the walls in the room could be the fourth wall. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Any of these walls could be. Ooh.
And we're breaking them all, so... all of the fourth wall!
All of the walls.
Anyway,
so,
Scar Tissue won.
And
we're moving on.
Elimination. It was an elimination match, but Scar Tissue still won.
Yeah, they pulled it out.
Which, honestly, was not very surprising, considering Deadly Darkness was probably so worn out after their earlier match.
Yeah.
There was just...
The
Ubiquitous Tornado...
the Ubiquitous Tornado took on Dandy Dale and won. Because
it was a friendly match. It was just... I don't know, they just wanted to fight each other for some reason.
Yeah. I guess they wanted to see who was tougher in their stable. But,
turned out to be Ubiquitous Tornado. Who knew?
Yeah.
Hashtag blame Tornado. But,
Hashtag blame Tornado every time. All the time, every time.
And the main event for the night was the Dark Passenger versus Jack Anderson. And I gotta say, I gotta give props to Jack Anderson here. Jack Anderson has been a really dominant competitor ever since entering.
Yeah.
Ever since his first victory, I should say.
Yeah, he hasn't lost yet, I don't think.
Oh no, he lost to Horatio in his very first match.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, that's
on
right.
On that pay-per-view.
That's the only match he's lost so far.
I know of. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Jack Anderson's been a really, really good competitor thus far.
And that's why
it was also surprising that this was only his second loss.
Wait. Oh yeah, he did lose this match.
He lost to the Dark Passenger. So that makes his second loss that I know of. There might be more, but...
There might be, but I don't think there is right now.
I don't think there is.
But either way, moving on to Flock-A-Mania.
Flock-A-Mania. So the very first match of the night was just a standard match between Doug Glatt and the Ubiquitous Tornado.
And the Ubiquitous Tornado came out on top. Not really surprising to me, because the Ubiquitous Tornado's always been a tough competitor.
Oh yeah.
And he's beat a lot of really good names in the league right now, and I just saw that coming from a mile away.
And I mean, he managed to injure us, so that's also with
that too. But then again, we have to move on.
Yes.
Because we're doing this fast today.
Yeah. Kind of.
Scar Tissue fought and beat the Avengers. I'm guessing that'll probably be the number. That was probably the number one contender match. I'm not really sure about that for the tag team titles.
Maybe.
But
we'll have to see in the future.
We'll have to see about that.
But speaking of the future, he took on Horatio in their rematch in a Hell in a Cell match.
Even though nobody used the cell.
No one used the cell. That was the most disappointing thing about the entire match. That was the most disappointing thing about the entire match.
You can't wrestle. You can't wrestle.
Even though they have spent their entire lives training to do that.
Yep.
Anyway. But unfortunately for Horatio, his message fell on deaf ears, and the future beat him in this match. However, we will see Horatio again in another match coming up, but we're going to wait another match because there was a match in between those matches.
Yeah.
So,
Vulcan fought
Newman and Dynamite Danny in a triple threat match.
And won.
Yeah, after losing to Horatio the week before, I think he was just outraged at what happened, and he just absolutely took over and won.
Hashtag Brooklyn's finest.
Yes, indeed. But
Yeah.
and speaking of Horatio's earlier match, he's back, and so is the future in the tag team championship match between Deadly Darkness and 1.21 Boogie Watts. And again, this was probably the best match of the night.
Yeah. For me, it was. I mean,
This was probably the absolute best match of the night, bar none. I don't care whose side you were on. This was a good match.
yeah, I like the championship match a lot, and I like all the matches on the card a lot. But
I liked all these matches.
but I think
this
match was the most intriguing because
it was so back and forth.
It was so back and forth, and the last minute you thought one guy was going to get pinned and lose, but then it turned around and they ended up winning.
Yeah.
Them being Deadly Darkness.
Yes.
The new reigning, defending Triple F Tag Team Champions, Deadly Darkness.
Who can now actually say that they are the deadliest team in the Triple F. So good on them right now.
They will have to defend their title this coming Thursday.
Yep.
Because the rematch clause.
Because 1.21 Boogie Watts is enacting the rematch clause right now.
Yep.
So we're going to see if they can turn their luck around in this next match, or if Deadly Darkness are indeed the rightful tag team champions. It's going to be interesting to see Deadly Darkness be the tag team champions, because we haven't seen a team quite like them in this league become pretty much any champions. We have not seen Horatio nor Cody become any sort of champion in this league. So this was a good thing for both of them. They now have a championship belt.
Yeah, they've both been really close, but now they both have a title.
Mm-hmm. So this is very good for both of them. But we'll get more about Cody in a little bit, because after all, he did take on the current champion in a championship match. But first,
we have to talk about Jack Anderson and the Undertaker. First of all, we got to go back to this Thursday night, and where Jack Anderson cut a promo and was followed up by being put in a casket, because this was supposed to be a casket match. But the Undertaker kind of chokeslammed him and threw him in the casket.
He broke the casket.
And made Jack Anderson break the casket on escape.
Wow.
Leaving it to be a cage match. And this was a very, very surprising victory. Or a surprising win. Or a surprising match. Because of the fact it's Flock-A-Mania.
And usually Undertaker is like the bomb in Mania events.
Mania events, yeah.
WrestleMania, he's like what, 22-1 now.
Yeah.
So he's a very pay-per-view guy, but
in this he's 0-1 because he lost to Jack Anderson.
The streak that he didn't have was broken.
Yep.
So like I said before, though, Jack Anderson has been a real strong competitor in the Triple F. Pretty much ever since he entered.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
rising him above the ranks to be.
And this really elevates him.
Yes, it does.
Because,
in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, the Undertaker is not one to be trifled with.
All right, but moving on, because time limit.
Yeah. Up next we have the 3 Stages of Hell match for the Triple F Heavyweight Championship. This match was between the Dark Passenger and Cody the Kid Brown. The first stage of the 3 Stages of Hell would be a standard match. The
second match
would be a tables, ladders, and chair match.
And the third would be a last man standing.
And we're going to go ahead and say this did go into the third match. But who won each pinfall?
Well, you actually kind of spoiled that, how I was going to do it.
Well,
but TDP won the standard match.
Which means that
he could have eliminated Cody the Kid Brown in the TLC
and chairs match, but he did not. So they moved on to the last man standing match.
And after using his finisher, which is for some reason a punch, because punching, I can do that right now.
For me, I'm doing the Kid's finisher right now.
But either way, Cody the Kid Brown is the new Triple F heavyweight champion.
And good on him, because now his team is a double championship. So he now has 2 championships, and Horatio's on his team. So this is a win-win for them.
Win-win.
So even though Horatio lost in his singles match against the Future, I think Horatio is probably going to come out and say something about it. I'm sure Horatio is more focused on winning that championship match.
Alright, and now moving on to the interview.
We will see you guys in the interview.
Alright, guys. Welcome to this very special portion
interview.
of...
This is actually the first interview where we've actually had a actual guest other than,
Well, no, we've had guests on the
we've
show.
had guests,
but they've all attacked us. And,
yeah.
Well, this one I don't think is going to be able to attack us. Cause
Not this time.
No, hopefully not.
Hopefully.
I'm going to watch my back here, though. I'm going to make sure there's no one coming in from the set or anything. Because I'm always the first one to get hit if this happens. But anyway, so...
You're the first and you'll be the last. But,
So anyway, here we have Danny Powers, who is representing his client, Jack Anderson. So please introduce yourself.
Yes, I am Jack Anderson's representative, and if you would like to talk to him as well, he's available to talk to you tonight as well.
All right, so we have a few questions we want to ask you on behalf of your client. Basically, we want to know his opinions on certain things, and
you can answer or he can answer. It doesn't really matter, whichever you feel better about.
Okay.
All right, so the first question we really want to ask, this is kind of a general question that we pretty much ask everyone. How does he really feel right now about the time he spent in the Triple F? I know he hasn't been in very long, but what does he think so far?
Well, I think he's been doing a great job, and I think he's been very successful. He's clearly moving up the ladder, and I think in the future he'll be targeting the championship gold. And I know right now we have a great champion in Cody the Kid Brown. He's quite the athletic performer out there, but as has been proven in the past, Jack Anderson has fought Cody Brown very well, and I think he's very competitive against him, so we might be able to see that title match in the future. How do you feel about that, Jack Anderson? Well, I got to tell you first off, I think Cody Brown is a very, very talented wrestler, but I've beaten him before, and I know if he steps in the ring with me again, he's going to find out just what Cowboy Tough is all about.
All right.
So, # Cowboy Tough. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Awesome. So, yeah, we will have to agree. He's been a very, very good wrestler so far.
We have, and we've said it in our past podcast.
Yeah. He's been very competitive pretty much ever since he stepped foot in the ring. So, we're really looking forward to see how he advances. But, so, now we have to ask what his thoughts were last night after his victory against The Undertaker, as well as... what does he think of The Undertaker himself now that he's beaten him?
I'll tell you what, The Undertaker, he's one of the greatest performers of all time. He is The Undertaker, and he had that huge streak going into Flock-A-Mania, and I knew I was in for the challenge of my life. But I went there, and I gave it all I had, and I proved to The Undertaker just how tough Texans can be. And I think after my victory against The Undertaker, it'll put me up the ladder of Triple F, and I know all the competitors in Triple F are trembling in fear of Jack Anderson after they saw what I did to The Undertaker. But what really burns my chappy is what happened after the match. After I beat The Undertaker in my moment of glory, who attacked me? Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg blindsided me, he speared me out of nowhere, and now he's gonna find out what Cowboy Tough is all about too when I face him. He's going to get his comeuppance. Bill Goldberg, if you're listening to me, I will find you and I will destroy you for what you did to me. All those years back in WCW, you broke my neck. I'll never forget that.
Ooh, all right. Harsh words for Goldberg.
Yeah, very harsh words.
Yeah, but hey, then again, I don't think we can really blame you.
No.
I mean,
if I was attacked, I'd do that. I mean,
we're all
trying to take shots at Tornado.
And,
ever since he attacked us. But
yeah.
you know how that
Hashtag
turned out.
blame tornado. But anyway, so now we have just a few more questions about the Triple F just in general, as well as maybe just the wrestlers in general.
Yeah.
One of the people that we have to kind of ask about is
The future, pretty much. How do you feel about him? He's the owner of the company, and well, he's run the company a long time, and he's also shown that he is a very good competitor. But I really want to know your feelings on how you think he is toward his other employees, and how you think he is toward you, or yeah, like in the league.
Well, I'll tell you what. Future Eric Creamer, he's also a great competitor. I'm not going to deny that. But as a commissioner, I do have some issues with the way he handles business. I mean, as we all understand, I've had a little bit of controversy surrounding me. There was an automobile accident where I ran into some cows. And I killed some cows, and there was an investigation, a lot of accusations against me that I was doing drugs. I'll tell you right now, the cowboy Jack Anderson. There's not many things in my life that I enjoy. One of them is not drugs. I enjoy good beer. Everybody understands that the cowboy Jack Anderson, the hidden horseman, he enjoys a beer. Beer and Jack Anderson are quite fond of one another. But I don't do drugs. And I did not hit those cows because I was on drugs. And I think the future Eric Creamer, commissioner, could have been more supportive of me in that situation. Other than that, I know that we'll step in the ring with each other in the future, and I'm sure that he will find out that I am just as fierce a competitor as he is.
All right, thanks for that. But I also have to ask you one more. We have two more questions for you. The first is there anybody you feel like you may join the tag team rankings with and try to go after that goal as well, or do you think you'll just stick strictly toward the singles ladder and gain that belt, or how do you feel about that?
Everybody understands that the hidden horseman, the last cowboy, the raging redneck, Jack Anderson, he's a lone wolf. He fights alone. Now, recently I had a tough match against the Dark Passenger, the former champion that Kid Brown defeated. In that match, there were several instances where I was going to win that match. And what happened? His little girl, AJ Lee, that little Jezebel, she interfered and she stopped the referee from counting the 1, 2, 3, and I should have won that match. Now, if I had come out there to the ring with my fat wife and she would have been there with me, then she would have slapped that AJ Lee and the referee would have counted the 1, 2, 3, and I would have beaten Dark Passenger. But that didn't happen. Now, I understand the situation that there's tag team gold out there for me to go, but I'm focused on singles gold right now. Maybe in the future there will be a tag team partner that I can tag with and go after that gold, but right now I'm just focused on singles gold, and that's what Jack Anderson is doing right now.
All right, cool. We completely respect that. We know that he'll do really good, really well in the singles division. So we have just one final question for you, and this is basically another general question. What exactly are your plans in terms of your future in the Triple F? I know you kind of answered that just then in terms of staying in the singles route, but any future matches or rematches or anything like that you would like to go after, or just a widely
Attack everybody type
attack
thing like Horatio.
like
does.
Horatio is doing right now, basically.
Well, I know in the near future I have a match with Horatio. I've talked to the booking department in Triple F, and they've suggested that Horatio, it looks like will be facing off in the ring in the very near future. I know the Dark Passenger. We have some unfinished business, and I know I'll be seeing him soon. Obviously, this Bill Goldberg. Billy, he attacked me recently, and he's going to pay for that, whether it's in the ring or in the parking lot. Jack Anderson does not forget, and I'm going after Bill Goldberg. But other than that, like the situation is for me. I need money. I need money because I got 5 misbehaving kids at home and a fat wife that needs food on the table, and I got to support them. So I need some money so I get to wrestle as much as possible, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Bill Goldberg hurt me. The Undertaker hurt me in that steel cage. But I gotta fight. I gotta make that money for my kids and my fat wife at home. So I just want whoever wants to step in the ring with me, I will step in the ring with him and I'll beat them because I need that cash. That's what Jack Anderson is all about. That's what Cowboy Tough is all about, and that's what the Cowboy Nation expects from the Hidden Horseman, Jack Anderson.
All right. Thank you for your time, Mr. Anderson. Again, we really hope to see you go very far in this league. We really hope maybe one day you could become the champion. I personally like to see that. I mean,
I believe I will. I believe I will be the champion, and everybody in that Triple F locker room knows that Jack Anderson is good enough to be the champion, including Cody the Kid Brown. With all due respect, Cody the Kid Brown, you're a great competitor, but you know that I'm coming for that gold eventually.
all right. Again, thank you for your time, Mr. Anderson, Hidden Horseman. Thanks for the interview, and this will be the end of the episode of this
Yeah.
Ace and Duke. So once again,
I'm the Ace.
I'm the Duke, and we're signing out.
Signing out.